إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهد الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وسلم أما بعد قال عز وجل بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون وقال أيضا يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما صدق الله العظيم. Respected brothers and sisters, we thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for blessing us with the opportunity to have seen this month of Sha'ban. The next new moon will be Ramadan, inshallah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the opportunity to witness the blessed month of Ramadan, inshallah. As we prepare for this blessed month in terms of psychologically, mentally, physically, our work schedule we try to arrange so that we get time to come to the Masjid for Taraweeh, to recite more Quran, and so forth. It is a time of the year where we start to calculate our savings or our zakat, how much we should give in sadaqah, and so forth. As we are preparing also for our daily routine in Ramadan, our sisters also are preparing their aspect in the term of kitchen. What are the meals they will prepare and so forth. Buying up groceries, preparing for this great month and blessed month, so that we have a smooth going in Ramadan, inshallah. We are very fortunate. We are very blessed. The reason why I say that is that when we compare what we have in this country, compare with what people have in other parts of the world, it's a great comparison, my dear brothers and sisters. We all came from a certain part of the world. I've just recently visited the refugee camp. As we are busy preparing for Ramadan, they are likewise doing that. What are their preparations? What are their wishes? What do they want? The things we take for granted in this part of the world seems like a far-fetched dream in those countries. Unachievable. Nevertheless, the love for Allah and the love for Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam in the hearts of those people needs to be mentioned. But the little Allah has given them and how thankful they are for whatever they get, it's amazing. When you listen what they say, one boy is just 7, 8 years old. What do you want in life? I asked. He says, all I desire in life is to have 2 chickens. What would you do with those 2 chickens? In my mind, Chicken is a delicacy in those camps. You don't get to eat meat. Most of the time, they eat bread alone with water. They eat rice alone with water. He said, if Allah has blessed my family with 2 chickens, those 2 chickens will give us 2 eggs. And my mother, he had no father, his father died. My mother can sell those 2 eggs every day so that she can buy rice so we can eat. SubhanAllah. 2 chicken for only 2 eggs on a daily basis. My mother can sell those 2 eggs to buy what? To buy rice or wheat so we can eat. Brothers and sisters, think about what kind of Ramadan they will have. Compare with our Ramadan, with our 5-course suhoor in the morning and our 7-course iftar in the evening. Think of those people. Think of our brothers and sisters in the camps in Syria, and most recently of the brothers and sisters that went through the flooding in Pakistan. What kind of Ramadan they will have. And out of all the brothers and sisters who was devastated by the massive earthquake, the question was asked, what can we do for those people? How can we help? Some of us, alhamdulillah, has helped monetarily, financially. Those who have the means will do that. We can help. But above all, above everything else, they require us to do one thing only. And that one thing does not require any financial help. All it requires, they are asking us to make dua for them. Do we do that, my dear brothers and sisters? It doesn't cost to make a dua. But how many of us actually in our lonely moments think about the unfortunate people in this world and we raise our hands to Allah and say, oh Allah, bless those people from the ummah of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam who are going through so much sacrifice only because they love you. And they are passionate only because they love you. And they're passionate only because they desire a reward that you have in store for them when they die. Nothing of this world, my dear brothers and sisters. Even in the refugee camp, amazing. My dear brothers and sisters, it is very easy to give charity when you have the means to do it. It is easy to give charity when you have the means to do it. The best charity is when you give when you don't have the means to give. You give out of the little that you are blessed with. That in the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on the scale, on the day of judgment, will weigh more than our wealth that we possessed in great numbers. Those people who are not blessed with much, they were collecting whatever they have, the eggs that they sell, the little milk that the goat give them, the little vegetable that they plant in their yard, the little money that they save, they are collecting every dollar to send to the earthquake victim in Turkey. You imagine? It breaks my heart. Wallahi, it breaks my heart. That if those people who have nothing are willing to help, what about me and you? How much we have? And how much we are supposed to give? And how much we are not giving? How much we are not helping? Are we afraid of poverty? Are we afraid that Allah will make our wealth diminishes and we become faqir? Those people have nothing. They are already faqir. And yet still they give. You imagine the fuqara of this ummah have more concern than the aghniya of this ummah. It breaks my heart. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept whatever little they give for His pleasure. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept among us those who have given, insha'Allah. And may that sadaqah be a means of protection from the fire of Jahannam, insha'Allah. Whatever we give, my dear brothers and sisters. We do not disclose how much we give. The best sadaqah. The best sadaqah is that one where it is only known between you and your Rabb. Only between you and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. No one knows how much you give. That's the best sadaqah. The best deed, the best amal that the one can present to Allah on the day of judgment. No matter how small that good deed is, it will be the most heaviest on the scale, on the mizan, on the day of Yawmul Qiyamah. Because it is done only for Allah, and between you and Allah knows only. Do we have any good deed in our records where no one else knows about that except you and Allah? Check ourselves. Every believer, male and female, should have at least one good deed where no one, not even your spouse, not even your children, not even your best friend, knows about it except you and Allah. My dear brothers and sisters, there are many stories that is being told, and I'm sure many of us have read many stories about the victims of the flooding and the earthquake. There was a very old man who was saving. You know, when you visited these countries, Allah has blessed me that fortunately I visited almost near the site of the earthquake. I have known some people there. There's an old man living in the village. He was saving to make Umrah, not Hajj, because he seen Hajj as big savings. And his old age, he lives on retirement, his little farm, whatever he has. Probably he said to himself, you know what, if I at least go for Umrah, Allah will accept my niyyah and my small effort. Hajj is too much for him. He was almost complete in his savings to make that sacred journey of Umrah. when the earthquake came. He took all his savings. Wallahi, brothers. This is what defined the word selflessness means. Today, most people are selfish people. This man is selfless, meaning he did not even think about himself going for this sacred journey, which he desired in his old age, at least to visit the house of Allah once before he died. How many people in this gathering have American citizenship and are blessed with that wealth to at least not perform Hajj, at least make Umrah, and yet still cannot reach there? Take this old man, for example. He's saving every penny for the past few years to make this sacred journey. And when he was about to make the journey, Allah tested him so much. This is a big test for him. He could have simply said, you know what, I'm going. The people of the earthquake, the government will take care of them. By the way, the government of Turkey, with the collection through the embassy throughout the world, have raised over $200 million, mashallah. It was a unique collection because every dime, every nickel of that money will go towards the victim. That was a very wise move by the Turkish government, not through agencies. Allah bless the agencies, whatever they're doing. Over 105 countries volunteers to take care of victims over there. And the question was asked by United Nations, why is it that they have so many countries who are rushing to help the victim of Turkey? They never been in the history of natural disasters where 105 countries send people there to help. You know why? The answer was the government. I am not vouching that they are pious people. They are good ones and they are bad ones. The government, no matter which part of the world, no matter if it is Africa, they do not look at which religion you belong to, whether you're atheist. They send help wherever there are disasters in the world. And that is why 105 countries in the world sent help to those people. The good they have been doing over the years pays off at the end. The same manner, my dear brothers and sisters, if you continue helping the unfortunate people in the time in your life when you will get your tests and my tests, and when you're really in need, Allah will open the hearts. Allah will soften the hearts of people to help you in your suffering and in your hardship. We can see that. It's eminent. 105 countries, it never happened. United Nations mentioned. This old man, savings is there, ready to make this trip. As soon as he heard about the earthquake, he went looking for people, giving them money in their hands that he saved for over the years. All the money that he had was diminished, given to the victims by himself. It went viral, worldwide. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blessed our Imam of Quds. When he saw the video, he contacted the authorities where this old man is living, and he personally will finance the Umrah for this old man and he will personally invite him to Masjid al-Aqsa to stay by his home in Jerusalem. May Allah bless that Imam. He is not the Imam of the big haram that have millions. He's a simple, honest man. But he has a heart. This Imam have a heart. When he saw the video, he is willing. Allah has put in his heart the reward of this man, the old man that gives everything that he has saved. Allah has opened so many doors for him. Now he's going to Quds. He didn't plan to go to Quds. My dear brothers and sisters, there are many, many, many stories that we have read of sacrifice. It's an old man in Azerbaijan, had a very old vehicle, maybe in the 60s and 50s, load up everything that he had, blankets and towels and everything, and he drove all the way to the site of the earthquake and distributing everything that he had. One dealership of Istanbul saw this on video. Ajib, when he looked at the man, you would not even think he has any looks like a Muslim, meaning doesn't even have a beard, nothing. Judgment is very bad. But in his heart, he knew that this man loved Islam and loved his brother Muslims. To drove all the way from Azerbaijan in his old car. The car is probably an antique for us. The man invited him to Istanbul and gave him a brand new car. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will always reward those who are generous, my dear brothers and sisters. Always. Allah never turned his back on those who give for his cause, for his pleasure. There are many stories. These stories are meant for us to soften our hearts, not to hear them and pass, not to read them and go by as if though it's a very nice storytelling. It's a story for us to reflect on our own lives. What am I doing for this ummah? How much am I willing to sacrifice for my brothers and sisters? Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says, he who does not have any concern, he in whose heart there is no concern for this ummah, for my ummah, is not one of them. You do not belong to my ummah if you don't care about my ummah. Do not be selfish. Do not live a selfish life about me and my family. Think the least you can do, the least we can do is to make dua for the suffering of the entire ummah. Our brothers and sisters in Rohingya, those who are living in the camp in Syria for many years, children are born in this camp. Children are growing in this camp. That's all the life they knew. That's all the life they have. Nothing. Our children are fortunate to go to school. These kids cannot go to school. They barely have enough to eat and wear on their body. Think how much Allah has blessed us. But wallahi, if you are living in your own world and you don't turn on to see and read or visit this place, you will never understand what I'm saying. You will never comprehend the suffering these people are going through. I will end with this one story of a sacrifice of a mother. One of the brothers was working on the sites, excavating. He was going from house to house, building to building. And he saw there's a small hole in one of the buildings. So he peeped through the hole. And he saw there's a lady. She was almost in the position of sajda. He tried to stretch his hand to touch and to feel her, to see whether she was alive. He felt the body is very cold, and that is a sign of death. She died in the position of almost sujud. So he went looking, said, when I pass back, I will instruct my crew. He was a supervisor or in charge of certain areas to excavate, to find the remains of bodies. As he was coming back, something went to his mind. Let me check this lady once more again. When he peeped through the hole and he saw the lady, her hand moved. And when the hand moved, he saw a little baby, almost 1 year old. And he found the cell phone next to the baby boy. When he finished reading the message on the phone, he broke into tears. He broke into tears. What was the message? As the building was collapsing, it was a 7-story building. She lived on the first floor, so to have the most impact. Something fell on her and broke her neck, and she left in that position. She had no husband. They probably separate or something. But all she could have done, she grabbed that 1-year-old boy and hugged him in her last moment. She knew she would not make it. She left the message that whosoever found this phone and read my message, please tell my son I love him. What is sacrifice of a mother to a child? Please tell my son when he grew older that his mother loved him. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم فاستغفروه إنه هو الغفور. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا مولانا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. وبارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد. إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون. واذكروا الله يذكركم ولا ذكر الله أكبر. أقيموا الصلاة.